Welcome to Trading Lounge and the daily US stocks for Monday, September the 26th, and just starting with the SPI here, the SPY rather. So from this top here, we're just looking down at 5 waves as 1 and 2, and then 3, 4, 5 here. Okay, so in the bigger picture with the S&P here, we can also look at it like this from that wave B here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, finding some support down here somewhere. We will just continue to count the waves, but around the 3,500 or 3,400 perhaps, and then we're going to look for a rally after that point, and then we'll catch the next leg down. But we'll go into all of this detail when we do the indices video next. Okay, so let's start with the stock. So basically we know that pathway from this B wave here, we're looking down for 5 waves. Apple's not a very good example of a bear market because it's the strongest stock and it's holding up very well from this low to this high, the 50-60% retracement levels here, plus the 150, which is a medium level. So we figured that it would be sticking around here for a while, and it is, but in a way it's doing all the right things. So let's just cruise in. I think we've got 10, 5, 1 and what's the name. So I just want to double check on these anyway while I'm here. So 10k tick here. So from the top here, we're looking down as 1 and 2 and 1 and 2, and this will be confirmed once this this low here is breached. So when this low just here, right? So once that's breached, then this can't be an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave here to the 61.8%, and then moving up from that point, because as it stands, that's possible. Okay, so we need that low there breached. But yeah, so today we can expect a bit of short covering and then another move to the downside. So we'll just continue through this and drilling in just to the 5 tick here. So we're looking from our B wave up here, we're looking down for wave 1 and 2, 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 here, and then moving down. So 154, 155. It'll be interesting to see how, how it leaves this little area through here, just on the 1000 ticks here, just to drill in a little bit further. So we're looking for an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave to that wave 2 area. Look, it may not get all the way up there, once this first leg here finishes off here and then pulls back, the length of that leg there pinned to the bottom of this retracement may just give you a target somewhere up here for that. So it might fall a little bit short in all of that. We'll just go into drill in that too a little bit further into the 100 ticks area here, and yeah, so we've got our wave 2 up here, and that now I'm looking at this as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for 1, and then the ABC for 2 here. So in this little leg here, I think we could just about go into, we'll go to 10 ticks. Excuse me. Okay, so that's the low, I think. Let me just double check that. Sometimes I get things wrong. So yeah, so that's the current low at the moment. So what you can see here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we've got wave 1 here and 2 here. Then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, it does overlap here, but that's what you get when you come down to this degree of structure. And also, as I always say, when you're working with large numbers, they tend to become magnets in terms of psychology, where people place larger orders. I mean, all new traders basically get attracted to, and a lot of old traders too, but by putting their stops on whole numbers, and even numbers and all those mistakes. So it's just natural. But basically we've got 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the third wave, fourth wave. So we can just map this out here, 1, 2, and this is 1, 2, 1, 2, yada yada yada. So we've got a little bit more to play out up here, and so that will be the A wave at that point. Okay, so we could just label that the A wave here for a moment, and I won't be doing this with all stocks, but just to give you a bit of an idea. And then wave C up there, so we can look for, once that's in, you can, the textbook would look for a 50-60% retracement level down here for that, and then we could look at, there's different ways to get, so we could take that length here and place that over here for that takes us up to 152, 153 area at the end of the day, for this ABC correction for wave 2 here. So it probably, look, it may get up there. Market's under a lot of pressure at the moment, so just be mindful of that. You could also get to short under here again. So once, as the safe trade, of course you can short it anywhere up into this space here, but just so you know, the B wave, when that pulls back, that low will be exposed. That will be the short trade, and this will also be a short trade as well. So you can add to all of those positions. So we're looking at 152 roughly in that space. So let's just go back to 100 ticks. In a lot of cases, in most of the cases, the move up here is actually a wave 4 in most cases. So yeah, 152, yeah, that all adds up then. Okay, well, anywhere in that particular space, we can look to short. We'll just turn this box green, and when I turn it green, it doesn't mean that you just chuck all your money in at that point. There, it just means that you can just put a very small order in there, And like I said, sometimes it's better just to think, well, if you're going to place some money in there, put some at one at 48, 49, 50, 51, and 52, and then keep the stop out of the way. You know what I mean? So just the dollar cost averaging sometimes turns out a little bit better and gives you a nice little plan to work with to start off. So that's the basically thing. That's the Apple thing, and most of the other stocks will be doing this rally, but most of the other stocks will be a wave 4, not all of them, but most of them. So let's cruise along into this. So NVIDIA here is also will be an ABC pattern as well. So that's our B wave up there. We're looking down for 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're looking down down to wave 5 here. That we'll look at that being wave 1 here. This will be contentious with a lot of people looking at it at this, at that level, but then wave 2 and then down for wave 3 at that point. So 1,000 ticks. Let's just go to 100 or come into that area here. So that's our blue wave 2, 1 and 2 up here for that, and then we're looking down here as 5 waves for 1 and ABC. There's 2 here. Now in this case, it seems to be a long way up, but that's about right. So it could move technically is to the 61.8%, but I think just I won't go into that as well, but from Apple that we'll probably see a move up. So then you could just probably grab that length and put it on the low of wave B, because there's normally a relationship in terms of equality between A and C. So probably 128 would be about right for this market, but look, it might shock us and get up there as well. We'll see about that, but that's where NVIDIA is, and Amazon. So we're looking at Amazon as a wave 4 that can pull back to the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree, or the 38.2% retracement. Also, let me just, from this high here, looking down at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the 38.2 is here for that. So I might just I can just remove that actually. Just shouldn't go back that high to that point, should stay a bit lower. So basically I'll just put it there like that will be okay. But once again, it should be a pretty sort of simple ABC correction here, and then down again at this point. Now 1 is the strongest number in the market, so it's not so much the 100 here, it's more like the 10. So we can see that bounce back again at that point. So we're going into a lot of these markets, we're going into where it's already started wave 4s, and wave 4s can, they can all line up at the, this may just be coming to this point here, but anyway, I'll just leave that for the time being. But we're in a series of 4s and 5s, so if you're short here, what you see over here is not what you get next, but we're gonna hold through these bounces and keep the stop out of the way. There's no trouble with any of these situations at this moment. So Yeah, so basically, if I could just go back to the S&P here for a moment, this is where we're going down. This is where all our trades are going to, this wave one here. We'll get down to wave one. We're going to get out of all our trades and we'll just observe this here or trade part of it or do something with it. We'll get to that. But that this wave 5 of 1 is our target area, basically. This wave 3 and 4 here, this will be significant. This will pull back, 30. We're in completely different, we're moving into an environment that's completely different than 1s and 2s, okay? And so we'll be moving into a whole series of 4s. So it'll be time consuming. We won't understand all the patterns as they begin. They'll have to mature a little bit and so on and so on. But there's nothing else to do, so you might as well just hold short in these. And meta platforms, so once again we're looking at we've got our wave 2 up there and we're going down for our wave 3. Bit of a little long bumpy road down, but we're getting there. It just takes time. So yeah, we'll get some sort of ABC back here that can pull back to this previous consolidation here, and then it's just arrived at 40, so we've got a series of 40. So it's going to get a little bit complicated in all of this, but the main thing is that we're heading lower in all of this. So and another wave 4 just to polish it off. I'll just leave those, but yeah, heading lower. Maybe it won't be going down that far, I don't think, on this one, but and don't worry about that wave 5 there for a bit. Yeah, so that's that. And Netflix, just on the daily chart here to give you a bit of an idea. So in a nutshell, we're going down as to wave 1 here, and then wave 2, and then down for wave 3 at that point. Don't worry about where I put these things down here because I haven't done any work on them, but we need to take that low out here for that. So that's where we're at this point. Let's go to 100 ticks from this daily chart. I mean, it's been a pretty severe drop, hasn't it, So hopefully it will be nice, these sharp drops over here. I'm pretty sure we'll get some over here in this third wave here. This is the one that we want to be looking at, this one here. So as I always say, even though it's better to trade the weakest stock you can find, basically. But anyway, this should perform a little bit like this over here when it's ready. 100 ticks. Let's just drill into this area. So that's that wave 2 there. So we've got down for wave 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 here. Well, we're going to get some sort of A, B and C wave to this point. So I don't know if I want to call it wave 3 or just bring it over to, I don't even think we're done there yet. I mean, we're just not, I mean, I can see that's 5 waves and that, but still, because of that little high here, it's a bit of, I mean, I really should just get a bit philosophical and look at that as 1 and 2. That's an ABC there. That fits nicely. 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, and put that there, which is probably the wrong thing to do, but, technically speaking, because that's a high here. But I'll just see how that travels. It doesn't matter too much at this point. But most of the other markets are here, so I'll just put this wave 4 here. I'll just see how high it goes. I've put the 3 and 4 here because of the timing of the all the markets sort of together as consensus sort of thing. So anyway, you can look to short it again at 230 if you want. I'll just put that there, just a little bit below, but we'll still need to leave the stop out of the way. Once that one's in, then we can bring it down at that point. And Enphase here, nothing new. We know that it needs to correct back to the 240 area. We're probably, I mean, it could be just an A and a B and a C to here, and we have wave 4 here, and it goes up at that point. But I think we need to play it out a little bit longer. There's a couple of different ways to count this. I was looking at that, which is on the 100 ticks, I think. So from the top here, I was looking at it as an A wave and a B wave last time we spoke, with 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 here, and it's coming down kind of nicely. So yeah, that's sort of, but I also think we might need to look at it as wave 1 here and 2 here. But that will come out in the wash down here. But look, I said, we don't need to do anything. We just, because, you know, we need this wave C over here for that, you know, so yeah, I mean, once this finishes down here, you could trade it up if you wanted to, but it'd be nice to do that in line with the rest of the markets if that was going to be the case. So, but anyway, we're not, that's the problem with corrections, you know, you make money in the trend and you think that the market's your friend, and then the correction here, you end up sort of putting trades on and taking trades off and having small losses and getting frustrated with it. And I can assure you that you're just better off waiting till it matures and you basically know what your setup is to go long and you're solid about that, you know, because otherwise you just lose them. You know, you make it in the trend and you give it back in the corrections because you've created attachment within the relationship. Tesla here, so it's dropping off nicely, everything's going quite well. It may just come down to the trend line, but if I take the length of wave A here, or the distance of wave A, and add that to B, that will bring us down closer to the 100 area here. So I don't know what will happen in the bigger picture here for a moment, but you know, the economy's in a sort of tricky situation. You know, all the economists are you know, saying different things, but they're all saying, you know, they're all saying it's going down. But some say it's the end of the world, and some say it's, you know, I don't know. I'm basically, you know, I mean, I find most of it just commentary, isn't it? You know what I mean? It's like wherever the market is, that's what they talk about, you know. So, and some shout louder than others. So if they shout too loud, just best not listen to those people. Whoopsie-daisy, we better go into here. So 100 ticks, and yeah, but certainly it will be moving down with the rest of the market. So we can expect it down from 300 to 200, so to speak. So we want to be 100 ticks. I think we've got some at 1,000 as well, but that's okay. Okay, so here I counted this down in detail before as wave 1 and 2. I'm okay with that. Then I'm looking at this as 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for wave 1. So I just want to see how far we come back. I want to see if we come back to here or here, and then I'll know how to label that. I don't really want to label it wave 3 because it's just a bit too short compared to wave 1, but it does have nice legs. It has nice form, you know, where this one here, it needs to put on a bit of weight in its corrections, but this one here is a little bit different. So yeah, I mean, you can look to short again in these boxes because the trend is down, and how far it pulls back I'm not sure, but you might want to bring that down. Like I say, you don't have to put in a lot here. This will be some type of sort of 3-wave correction. I just don't know where it comes to, which will also enable you to short the B wave here as well on that. But we're in group 2 here, so group 2 is important, and that's where we're bouncing along at the moment, and 265 is the lower end of that. So close enough. So yeah, we'll see how that plays out. There will be a bounce off here, you know, when it comes to here. You expect it to, well, expect it at least to come back to 260. Sometimes it just comes back to 256, but yeah, expect it here. So be careful about shorting it in this area. If you're going to short it, then you need to be looking at taking on a little bit of risk here and shorting it under these levels here as close as you can, and then being done with it, you know. And when it bounces back up here, we can look to short it back on the bounce, and then we can short it under here as well. Just don't short it under the from 260 to 250. Don't place any short trades in here. You'll just end up carrying a loss, and we can get it back on the other side. If you're happy to carry a loss, fine. If not, then don't worry about that. Yeah, we'll just leave the stop out of the way for the moment. Obviously you can bring it down a bit, but we'll just keep it out of the way. And over to Alphabet. So this is just the daily chart, but just to give you a bit of an idea, we're coming down for wave 1, we'll go back for 2, and we'll go down for wave 3. So let's go to the, I haven't been drinking, just woken up. So let's go to, I think we're on 100 ticks here. Okay, so from this wave 2 up here, we're looking down for wave 3. So down here for wave 3. And in that wave, from wave 2 to wave 3 here, then we'll look for 4 and 5, which will make that wave 1, you know. So we've got blue wave 1 and blue wave 2, and we're going down for blue wave 3, 4 and 5. So that might bring us down to 90 maybe. We'll see how that just, it might have trouble letting go of the 100. We'll see how that plays out. And because we know that group 1 above and group 2 below is the swing range for the market to you know, correct at this number. When that becomes the resistance here, the 96.50, then it's going to let go of the 100 and then drop at that point. It doesn't drop straight to the 90, of course. There'll be group 1 here, 91, 92 and 93, so it'll get a bounce off 93. 95's in there as well, just the Fibonacci sequence as price ratio. So yeah, still, and plus we've got all these wave 4s here. So we're going, you know, it's going to get a little bit more complicated. Maybe, I mean, some of these wave 2s, well, this is, yeah, a bit tricky, but yeah, I think I've got this all right with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So just a bit of a retest to the 100 perhaps, or close to it. But yeah, 4, 4 and 4. So if you don't have a position at the 100, you could get one at the 100. We're just going to leave the stop out the way here for the moment. But yeah, it'll take a while, but it'll just keep sort of edging down, depending on how complicated these wave 4s get here. But we'll just hold steady. And so Microsoft also too, looking for it to come down to wave 1 here, back for a big wave 2, and then down again at that point, something of that nature. So we're tracking the 5 waves down at the moment. So I think that coming into group 1 here of 200, I think that it will sort of jam up in here, all of this, and kick back, because you see this whole pattern here, what you need to understand, this bigger pattern here, it's come down, bounced off it in 3 waves, it's made it corrective, right? It's a corrective pattern, so we need to take out that low, which we have, but now it needs to go through it and go back and check it before going down. It's basically this pattern here where it comes down, bounces, goes through it. So we're coming through it here. We'll need to check it back at some point, you know, and it can have a series of check backs in all of that. So that will be the check back. So it can have check backs in here as well, but coming into group 1 will slow it down a lot. And there's a whole series of wave 4s coming into play now. So that's also going to slow it down. So what you see here is not what you're going to get next. Oops, better go to the 100. I'll just see what I've got on the 2K here, because just in case I haven't updated things. I don't always update things, but okay, well that's alrighty. That's where we are basically in a bit of a nutshell. Yeah, it could come back and bite it here, you know. I mean, I can see that's one 1 and 2 and 3 here. This all could be 4, so it could be a little bit more down here and then jump back, but be out of line with the other markets. So yeah, I think we're on the right path here. Everything's okay. I'll just go to 100. I mean, the trick is not to overtrade, to be able to sort of handle these moves back. Let me just get in a bit more data here. So from our B wave up here, we've got this, it's not quite right. We'll bring that down, put that as wave 1. That can go there. In fact, I don't even need those. We don't sort of come back here and on this 100 tick and check that. But from wave 2 here, we're going down to wave 3 that I don't have here just yet. But from wave 2 down to wave 3, we're going to need 5 waves. So we've got wave 1 in blue here and 2 in blue, and we'll have 3 in blue, 4 in blue, and 5 in blue somewhere over here for that. So this is where we are at the moment. So we've got from blue wave 2 down to blue wave 3 here. We need 5 waves of green. So we've got wave 1 here and 2 here, and we're going down for wave 3. So I could make a mistake here, so I'll need to be a little bit careful about this. But the main point is that we need to come down further. We should stay pretty much at the 240, maybe 240, 242 or something. So we'll keep the stop out of the way up here until we've got this number here. It's not about the previous highs with all where you move the stops. It's about the closest largest number becoming the retested resistance. Now, yes, it has retested it here, and it may not test it again here, but we just need to be sure, you know. So you could probably bring the stop down to this point, but yeah, it's really about this number being the resistance at this point. So I've got this as wave 1 here and 2 here. But what sort of the timing of the rest of the markets would have me have wave 3 here for this. So I can kind of forget about the spike and put that there, but I wouldn't want this overlapping it too much. So I'll just see how this goes. It's either going to be 4 or 2 here for this. We'll see how it goes. I need to see how it all sort of finishes up and closes up. Will it keep sort of extending down, or will it sort of shrink up, and all of these sorts of things? Because at the end of the day, you know, when the lows come in, most of these markets that have the same highs and low dates, you know, on an intraday basis, they've all got to fit together, because they'll all be moving together at that point. But yeah, in the meantime, we've still got further to go down, so we don't have to worry about lows too much at this point in time. And Berkshire Hathaway here. So yeah, if this was the A wave here, then we can look at the C wave over here for that. So we could look at this market eventually getting down here somewhere, you know, and that would be pretty much in line with the rest of the market. How it gets here is another story. We do have 1, 2 here and 3, 4, 5 here. So we have a nice 5 wave structure here. So the market's pulled back up to supply and moved down. And the same with all of these. It's moved up for supply, moved up to supply, moved up to supply. So it's just going to keep moving down. But obviously it gets down to this low here. And the 250 is important as well. It's a medium level. The market is working with the trading levels quite well. So we can expect that to continue. That's the mindset of folks, you know, trading at certain numbers and so on. So yeah, anyway, that's just the bigger picture here, and I think that we're on the 100 ticks for this. So from the B wave up here, let me just go back. I think I cleaned a lot of this up, but yeah, so I've taken all of these out, but still gives you this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down here for the A wave, back for the B wave, and coming down now for this C wave. So from here, we're looking down as wave 1, 2, which is in line with the SP500 and the low volatility index and all of those sorts of things, and other markets, and and down for 1 here and wave 2 here. So from orange wave 2 down to orange wave 3 that I don't have here. There it is over here. We'll need 5 waves down here, and that will be wave 4 over here somewhere, and wave 5. So that will be, it'll be something like this, and then we'll have that wave 1 here and wave 2 back up there somewhere. So we need that here. We need 1, 2, 3. We need the 4th wave here. We need the 5th wave over here. We need this wave 3 here. We need this wave 4 here. Now this puts me a bit behind the 8 ball actually. I mean, not, yeah, I mean, it just, I may have to look at this as wave 3 here and wave 4 here. I'll just want to see how high that goes. And I may need to shift wave 1 over, this wave 1 over to here for that as well, and tighten things up a little bit more. I'll just see how we go with all of this. So we're either going back for wave 2 or wave 4. Wave 4 would put us in line with the banks, you know, and sort of, I think that's kind of important. Then we'll have wave 3 down here somewhere, and wave 4, and then wave 5 here for this wave 3, 4, and 5. So that would give us that wave 1 at that point. That's what we're kind of, you know, this is the same, you know, the S&P and the NASDAQ and all the other stocks. So it'll be this wave 2 here that will, you know, so we can basically trade all the way down here. These wave 4s are going to give us some grief, but we know that already, so we'll just we'll just accommodate their behavior and get down closer to the closest largest number at least anyway, and we'll get out, and then we'll see how this goes before I talk about this. I want to, if this goes, you know, it depends on the angle of things. Currently this is the angle here, so we can expect that angle to, that's the speed of the market. If it speeds up, you know, then we probably won't trade that back up. You know, if this slows down, you know, this is the speed at the moment with it. If it slows down, well, then we can look to trade it up because it will bounce higher, and we know the market's getting that support in and so on. But anyway, that's the basis for this. So just keep the stop out of the way so we can put a stop in, but I am keeping it wide. So I'm just assuming that you're not over leveraged in these markets, you know, because it's hard to get anywhere if you're over leveraged too much, you know. Okay, well that's that, and block here. So we're going to have, this is the 38.2% retracement level, so it could come back to the 60, might just come back to the 58. When we talk about number 8 here, we talk about group 2 as well. So with group 2 there's 5650, which is an important number. 5650 in here, can't get it, but anyway, you can get that there, and then 72 in here, which is 5720. So it's going to struggle through that. Let's just see how that goes. It may not get all the way back up here for this, so let's see how that goes. But this is wave 1 and 2 here, 1 and 2 here, and building up for 1, 2. So we could probably get up here. It's just a timing thing, really. So how the rest of the markets move up as well. Most of the markets are moving up in wave A. I don't know if we need to put wave A here and a B here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up here for this and not come up at all. But that 58 will be a bit of a stopper at that point. I'm just going to shape this up a little bit now. So and put this in here, 5720. If it comes back up here, we'll look for another short position. Don't worry about these. We'll have to extend this further. We'll have to extend all of this further down too, I'd imagine. Okay, to the bank. So we're just going to look at Morgan's and Goldman's, because I'm shorting BAC at the moment, and I've got trades all over the place and it's messy. I shouldn't have put them on this platform, but yeah, I make that mistake now and again. So we won't be looking at BAC, but in the bigger picture here, basically we've got down as wave A here and B here. Now this B wave here hasn't pulled back up to its 50-60% retracement level, but that would be in line with the rest of the markets around the place, and some of the banks have moved up much higher than this one here. So it just tells me, I mean, it was the banks right at the get-go that told us that pointed out to me that they were in bear markets, and based on that we could we could move into that with the S&P and the rest of the stocks. So but the nutshell here is that we've got wave 1 and 2 here, and then we've got 1 and 2 and moving into here. So basically we're looking down for 3, 4 and 5 here, and then we'll have a big move back, and then we'll have wave 3 coming down at that point. So yeah, I mean, my plan with the banks is just to make some money into this low here, and then basically double up on this side over here, and move on down this side. So this will be the one that we want. Wave 3 moves a little bit quicker, as you know. So yeah, they can come down a fair bit really, because wave A was quite big here, and wave B never really rallied so much, so we could be coming quite deep here for this. But it'll be this trade over here is the one that we want. It's difficult to trade this now, I mean, because we've got we've talked about having positions in this area here. There's a whole series of 1s and 2s in here that we've built in short positions. So trading down, you put positions in down here, and there's a series of wave 4s are going to come back and bite you. If you want to take that heat, that's okay, but that's how that will play out. So we're going to go to 10k ticks to 10 ticks intraday. And that's our wave 2 up there. I don't think we really need to go much past that. So we've got down for 1 and back for 2, so we're looking down for 5 waves down here. So we're looking down for wave 3, 4 and 5 to make that wave 1 here. Then we'll go back for wave 2. So in that journey between wave 2 up here and wave 3 down here, we're looking for 5 waves. So we can put in, I don't need these now, so I'll just, actually I could use them over there for wave 4, so I'll just keep them there and create a new one. Wave 4 and wave 5, so that's where we are. I'm just going to squash them all up here, but it'll give you a bit of an idea. So all we need to do, all what's going on here, is a series of 4s and 5s, so we can put those in over here. So this will be some sort of wave 4 that can come back into play. Let's just see how far that can come back up. So wave 2 up here somewhere, wave 3 here, so wave 4. So it can pull back up into this space, somewhere up in here. And then wave 5 to the downside, and then another wave 4 here, and then another wave 5 here. I mean, obviously the 100 here is going to be, important, isn't it? So we'll come down to here, but the problem is the journey down here is not going to be it's not going to be easy peasy, it'll be something like this, So it doesn't make it very easy to trade, to get into a position here. If you've got positions up here, that's fine, and we can just leave the stop out of the way, and we'll be fine. Of course, you want to get these two as close as you can to break even without doing any damage. But that's where we are. So I mean, the only place you can really add to the shorts is on the top of these wave fours, you know. So we can look to do that during the week. That will just, you know, give us a bit of entertainment and something to do. But you don't want to be, you know, we need to capture them reasonably high. And we need to be out at this point down here, because this is where it's going to bounce, you know. Okay, so anyway, that's Morgan's, and Goldman's is much the same as well. So 1 and 2 and 3 down here, and 4 and 5. Now, don't pay any attention about, you know, exact price that I put these things at, because you know, they'll be wrong, put it that way. But the point is that I just prefer to do the counting down here for this. It's okay to put targets in, but I'd rather make the targets a little bit closer once I, you know, get near there, because it just leads you astray otherwise. So from this wave 2 up here down to this wave 3 here, we're looking at 1 and 2, and then down for the third wave here with 1 and 2 here, and 3, 4, 5 here for third wave, fourth wave, fifth wave. There is a problem with this one, is that this little spike here takes out the spike up over here on this. But I'm going to stay with this for the time being, even though that this spike has taken out that top there, because the rest of the banks count very nicely like this as well. And really, it's kind of a nice count, but I may need to change it. But the way that I've got this green wave 3 here and wave 4 and 5 for this one here and this one and this one is about the right timing for things. If I have to change the timing on anything, I'd have to bring this blue wave 3 over here on all the markets. So just be mindful that that may occur, but it won't change us anything at this stage, you know. This could stick around here a little bit further. This one here can take us back to, you just get this in right here, put this back up here for that. This one will probably be a bit lower. This one here will probably be a bit lower still. So it can play out like this, something of this nature. So all these 4s and 5s could squash up a little bit. We'll see. I mean, maybe they just, you know, extend further down, you know, and that would be nice. But yeah, we just got to see how they go first. But everything's going according to plan. You know, our third wave in the middle here has extended out, and we've captured that in most markets. And now we're going into these 4s and 5s. Alrighty, I better leave it at that. The video's too long. Okay, cheers.